The very latest on this is that the Uttar Pradesh Home Department has filed a report to the Ministry of Home Affairs just some time back saying that on the supervision of senior officers, Section 124A has been withdrawn from the case, which means that the UP government has withdrawn the charges of sedition against the Kashmiri students in the case involving them and their university. Now, there's obviously been a huge controversy over this, which has gone on all day. And one can argue that there may not have been necessary to file sedition charges in the first place. Was there thought given to that? If the sedition charges have now been taken back, I'd like to welcome everyone first, but let's get there. Dr. Mazoor Ahmed is Vice Chancellor of the Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, live from Meerut. Dr. Ahmed, this happened on your campus. Abid Rasool Khan represents the Congress party on the debate this evening. We have the two students there. I'm not revealing their identity. They're joining us from Srinagar. I hope both of you can hear me. We're not going to reveal your identity.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So neither your name or your face will be put on our channel, but we want to know what you did and what the charges were there against you. I hope you speak up and tell us what happened. Dr. Sameer Kaul of the PDP, welcome. Tanvir Sadiq of the National Conference, welcome. Now, Madhukar Jaitely, I want to begin by asking you. Actually, let me begin by asking the Vice Chancellor. Dr. Mazoor Ahmed, can you hear me? Dr. Mazoor Ahmed?
Clear.
Yeah, Dr. Mazoor Ahmed, given that you and the Registrar of the University, Dr. R.K. Garg, have spoken in different voices as to why these Kashmiri students were suspended, please first specify what these students were suspended for. Were they suspended for cheering for Pakistan, or were they suspended for the violence which happened after the match on your campus?
I will give you the entire thing, the facts. On second evening, in this hostel, Kashmiri students were watching TV, and on TV was coming this Indo-Pak
match, yes.
After Pakistan won the match,
right,
some students, not all, some students cheered and some raised slogans.
Okay.
Pakistan Zindabad.
Okay.
One student threw a chair, and another student took out his, bared his body, upper part body, took out his shirt in just jubilation. This slogan
in celebration celebration for Pakistan's victory over India. They were celebrating Pakistan's victory over India.
Yes, that's right.
Right, okay.
That's it. It was foolish, youthful exuberance, nothing more than that.
Right.
But other hostel people, I could find the ripples of resentment. So what I did, next day morning, I had put my warden there, my guards there in the night, and then I can tell you one thing, there was no confrontation, no thrashing, no fight, it is all wrong. The students slept in their room, in their house, in their hostel, peacefully.
Okay.
Next day I realized that it could be, next day I realized it was rather a serious matter in the sense.
No, when did you? Why did you think it's a serious matter? If you didn't, why did you think it's a serious matter that they were cheering for Pakistan?
Because other boys had started reacting.
No, so I'm just asking you that the problem was no, one second. The problem was that they were cheering for Pakistan, and other students were objecting to that. Am I clear? That was the problem.
No, not that. Other students are not there. In this hostel, there were only Kashmiri students. There were 68 students. One was sick. I got him admitted in hospital, and 67 students were there. Not all of them are cheering. Some must have cheered.
No, come to the point. Come to the point, Dr. Mazoor Ahmed. Why don't you just come to the point? You're giving a very long introduction. Just tell me what were these students suspended for? Were they suspended for cheering for Pakistan or not? Simple. Was that the problem?
They were suspended three things. Number one, shouting slogans in the hostel.
Shouting pro-Pakistan slogans. Why don't you be specific?
Can I hear you, Dr. Ahmed?
1 second. One second. Okay, we are getting the first rebut. No, what's the problem? Yes, Dr. Sameer Kaul. Why are you interrupting him?
Arnab, I can't hear this long drawn-out explanation when I know he doesn't know what he's saying and he's trying to cover up, for God's sake.
Please let me speak.
No, 1 minute. I'm allowing the intervention. Dr. Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed, I'm allowing the intervention. The intervention, for your information, comes from Dr. Sameer Kaul, who is the Chief National Spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. He objects to what you are saying. I think you should just hear him. I'll come back to you. Yes, Dr. Kaul, what's your problem? What's your problem with what he's saying?
I cannot understand. Sir, my problem is the problem that the entire youth of Kashmir have, and let him know that the way in which his institution, his management, and perhaps shielded by the government, the entire government of Uttar Pradesh and its various branches, even the UP Home Department and the police have acted, is not only, it's ridiculous, it is saddening.
No, what is the ridiculous part of it?
Anger.
No, what is
because
the Dr.
Can you
Kaul,
believe it?
Dr. Kaul, are you saying? Dr. Kaul, are you saying? Allow me, Dr. Kaul, Sameer Kaul, 1 minute, just a minute. Are you saying that tomorrow, just take the similar example, that tomorrow, if someone were to, cheer for India after a India-Pakistan match in Pakistan, if some Pakistani boys were to cheer for India, that no charges would be put against them, there would be no reaction? Or are you saying that's not even an issue? You can cheer for any country you want.
I don't know what Pakistan would do. I don't know what Pakistan would do, but no civilized democratic country will, just because you're cheering for a particular team. I mean, then in that way,
don't you think cheering for Pakistan? Anybody can,
of these two countries, when they watch a cricket match, and
don't you think? Will you please hear me?
Okay, Vice Chancellor Rebat.
Will you let me so?
Yeah, but others also have to come into the debate. Vice Chancellor, complete your argument quickly.
Yes, please let me say. See, we did nothing. I didn't rusticate them. I didn't do anything. I just suspended them till further orders. And then it is my duty to keep my boys away from harm's way. I could see that if they continue in that hostel,
thank God.
They were
you
not
don't
safe.
Run this country,
so
because that way you would have arrested prime ministers of these countries. Who cheer watching a cricket match, be it Mohali or be it area, you start
my primary duty, Mr. Kaul,
and
is
all
not
those
politics.
People who
my
watch
primary duty is to keep my students and to keep them away from harm's way, to save their lives and limbs. So I thought that there will be tension in
Can I hear it from the students? Gentlemen,
so I must keep them away.
Gentlemen, can I hear it from the students? Can the students hear me in Srinagar? Do the two students in Srinagar hear me? Can you hear me, both of you?
Yes.
You can hear me. Did the both of you, 1 second, did the both of you, Madhukar Jaitely, I'm coming to you, did the both of you cheer for Pakistan? Is it true? Is it true that all the students, there was more than 60 students there who were cheering for Pakistan?
Let me tell you, Mr. Arnab, first, why a Kashmiri always have to prove he is an Indian?
No, I'm asking you a question. Nobody is questioning that you are an Indian, but I'm asking you, did you cheer for Pakistan?
Yeah, we cheered for Afridi, as we cheered for Tendulkar in past matches. We are sports lovers people, and we cheered for Afridi as we have cheered for Tendulkar. हमने अफरीदी ने जब लास्ट वाला छक्का मारा तो हमने चेयर किया, ना ही हमने कोई एंटी नेशनल स्लोगन्स दिए, ना ही हमने कोई ऐसी बात कही जिससे कि दंगा फसाद होता। इसके बावजूद जो वहाँ पे बैठे थे उन्होंने हमें abusing language, they used abusing language, and they started beating
to me or don't listen to me. I'll tell you.
No, 1 minute, Vice Chancellor. No, Vice Chancellor ji, 1 minute, 1 minute. Mazoor Ahmed ji, 1 minute.
They did all these things.
Why aren't you listening? I listen to them.
Raise any anti-national slogans.
They are saying they were cheering for Afridi, not for Pakistan. That's what they are saying.
Yeah.
You say they were cheering for Pakistan. What's the reality, sir?
Mr. Arnab,
I received report.
Their statement
was from Mr. Bansal, who was the warden there. He said that they're cheering for Pakistan.
And now
even if they're cheering for Pakistan, that's not a crime. That's not a crime, I know. That's not a crime. I don't hold a brief for Merit Police.
To the students, can I just say one thing?
Well, what I did,
Yeah.
To
I
the
only
students, can I say
suspended
one
them,
thing? 1
and
minute.
suspension
To the
is
students.
so common in the universities.
No, to the students, I'm just say one thing.
Yes.
Hear the other side. He says he got a report, okay? Your Vice Chancellor says, I received a report from the warden. These students, more than 60 of them, were cheering for Pakistan after...
He was warden there, he was there.
Well, you can say tomorrow that I was cheering for a player. 1 second. To the students, I want to say one thing. You can say tomorrow I was cheering for a player. But the fact is that after the India-Pakistan match, when India lost and when Pakistan won, you have a right to do it. But I'm just establishing the facts that you went into a celebration after the result of a match in which Pakistan won. True or false? True or false? To the two boys there, can I ask you, true or false?
No, but
that you celebrated after the game when Pakistan won. True or false?
No, we didn't celebrate. We didn't celebrate it. When Pakistan won the match, we just
What?
We just
what?
walked upstairs to our rooms. Yeah, we just walked upstairs to our rooms, and the guys, they started abusing us. They started using bad
abusing
language
you for what? Abusing you for what?
Yeah. But they started criticizing us. They started hooting. They started.
No, do you believe it is slightly? Do you believe, to the students? I'm telling you, I'm repeating this. Sport is not war. But do you believe? And I would like to hear from the other students sitting with you as well. Do you believe it is slightly strange that an Indian citizen after an India-Pakistan match goes into some kind of a celebration, whichever kind? You can say I'm cheering for Afridi and not for Pakistan. Do you feel it is slightly strange that they would celebrate after an India-Pakistan match after Pakistan wins? I mean, or is this, is this par for the course?
Listen. If a person in
do you
Mumbai
believe that
Delhi
itself is provocative?
Likes Afridi as a player, is that also seditious?
I am asking you. No.
We cheered for Pakistan.
Did you say well played Pakistan, or did you cheer for Pakistan? Did you celebrate after Pakistan's victory? Is there no difference between the two?
Obviously, when the Pakistan won, the favorite team becomes the team that won.
Really?
And we cheered for Afridi.
Oh, really? Okay, fine. So
he belongs to Pakistan.
So you are saying that you will cheer for any team that wins.
Will you please
listen
to me also?
I'm saying.
But it's not an IPL game. No, young man. 1 second. Do you realize this? Do you realize this is an India-Pakistan game? I mean, please let's live in the reality, okay? I'm not a theoretical person, and neither are you. I'm sure as a member of the young generation. This is not an IPL game. Okay. This is not KKR versus CSK. This is not Mumbai Indians. This is not Mumbai Indians versus Rajasthan Royals. This is India versus Pakistan. And it can be argued. Let's get the others in. It can be argued.
Okay.
It can be argued that what you are doing, you may be right in saying I have a right to do it. But don't you understand that in the aftermath of certain situations, there's been a communally sensitive situation in Meerut. This itself can be an act of provocation. That's all. Do you believe it could have been an act of provocation?
Can you repeat?
Hello?
Do you believe it could have been an act of provocation? Do you believe that celebrating for Pakistan after a Pakistan victory can be provocative to some people?
I don't believe it.
You don't think so?
There are lakhs of fans of Tendulkar in Pakistan, and if they support Tendulkar as a player, that becomes. Can you say that becomes a provocation in Pakistan?
You are bringing it down to supporting. Okay, let me get the others in. I think you hear the other side. I have not heard of a situation very often. It's a difference between.
Will you please listen to me?
1 minute now. Let the others in. Madhukar Jaitly. What were these students? 1 minute. Sir.
I would like,
young man.
I would like to raise one point here. Mr. Manzoor is saying that we suspended the students only because we want them to be safe. But it is not the actual case.
No.
They shifted us to Delhi.
For three things.
They shifted us to Delhi.
For three things.
And we don't. They shifted us to Delhi. We didn't have any penny in our pockets. They shifted us to Delhi. We didn't have any penny in our pockets.
Please listen to me.
Okay, now Mr. Ahmed.
Please listen to me.
That wasn't any safer situation for us.
Mr. Ahmed, 1 second, please. 1 second, please, gentlemen.
We spent the whole night on footpath in Delhi. We have footage of that. We spent whole night. We spent whole night on the
Absolutely
footpaths of Delhi. We have footage of that.
Okay,
We can-
so my...
yeah.
So my, one second, young man, I understood your point. I understand your hardship.
Arnab.
Let's listen to all sides of the story here. Now, my question to the BJP is, and Mr. Jaitly, I'm coming to you. Did you jump the gun? Sudhanshu Trivedi, spokesperson for the BJP, did you jump the gun? Are you looking for issues like this? Your party gave the police a 3-day ultimatum to book the students for anti-national activities. Tell them tonight and tell me, what is the anti-national activity? Was that itself an overreaction? Mr. Trivedi.
Arnab, in my opinion, it is ironical and it is an example of too much soft state of India that we are having a discussion on this. If in a match between India and Pakistan after the defeat of India, it is being celebrated by one way or the other, we are discussing the nuances. We are going into the technicalities. Okay, even if you want to have, I am having no problem. But look at the backdrop. If Omar Abdullah is having some objection on this, then
I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me. Mr. Trivedi, 1 minute. Mr. Trivedi, I want you to tell me.
If this is the background of politics, then it cannot be just a nuance of.
Is there not a political backdrop? You're telling me there is no political backdrop. Okay, Madhukar Jaitely, why did your government first file the sedition charges and why did your government then take it back?
Arnab, in fact, let me put the record straight. The name of the program which you are doing today should have been the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir overreacting. The FIR that was produced before the state government in Meerut had no choice but to register the FIR. The FIR has only been registered and there have been no charges. I want to clarify. It is only the FIR that has been registered. The investigation was going on. Before that, let me complete. I did not interrupt when you were speaking.
How can you
Let
have
me complete first. I will not let you.
Will you please?
I will not let you come to me.
What FIR? I mean,
I
can you
will not
believe
let
it?
you speak. If you allow me to
You have an
speak, I will
FIR
give you
against
a word.
unidentified people?
Don't interrupt. Don't
Okay, let him
interrupt.
complete his point.
I'm
1
not
second.
going to
You see, you had your say, he listened to you.
Don't
No,
interrupt.
you had your say, he listened to you. If somebody has to respond to him, it has to be the National Conference spokesperson. So 1 second. To the PDP spokesperson, I said, just hold yourself back, Mr. Vice Chancellor, hold yourself back. You see, we are debating this. Are we passing judgment? No. Are we passing judgment? No. Let him have his say. Complete your point, Mr. Jaitly. You know, I find the U-turn appalling.
Please.
You see, point is, what is the choice?
I suspended the files.
Okay, let him complete his point, please.
Under the Indian Penal Code, it is mandatory for the police to register an FIR if it has been produced. Now the University of Subharti University produced an FIR, and on that basis the FIR was registered. There was no charges. The charges mean that the charge sheet should have been filed in the court, and it was not filed. Therefore, it was only a matter of investigation.
Listen to me.
And during the course of investigation,
You have all
the
wrong
charges
facts.
of sedition were
You have all
not
wrong
found to
facts.
be true.
Mr. Jaitly, you are completely wrong. Now, 1 second. I will tell you, you are completely wrong. First, let me get the National Conference representative, Tanvir, to respond to you. You remember this, Mr. Jaitly. I'm coming to you, Mr. Abid Rasool. Now we are going into open debate. While it is the university's decision, because the private university to suspend the students, your government escalated the matter.
That
1 minute.
between the university and the students.
Your government
Let me know.
escalated the matter by slapping charges of sedition against the students. You understand that?
The university has registered an FIR. The charges, they are not charges. Choose your words correctly. They are not charges. Choose your words correctly. Only the FIR has been booked.
Right? Okay, 1 second. Yes, Dr. Ahmed. Yes, Dr. Ahmed.
Please, listen to me. Please listen to me.
Goswami, just
I'm coming to you, Mr. Tanvir. Just let the Vice Chancellor rebut in 1
Can I
minute.
just put in a word?
I suspended students till further orders. This could be 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, and they should keep on getting suspended from classes. not very serious thing. I sent them out of the hostel to keep them out of harm's way. I sent them to Delhi. Buses I arranged. I arranged
Why are you
escort.
making us listen to
I
this, for
put
God's
two
sake?
senior professors in the buses to take them. I only requested the police. Only my contact.
But when we reached Delhi,
the police.
there was no
this
one.
much.
There was no. We were left with nothing there. We were left with nothing there. Yeah, it is right that college booked bus
Just
for us.
listen to me.
But the police was called and they ordered us to pack our things in 5 minutes. And we have left certificates, we have left our laptops, we have left everything, every asset there in college.
Mr.
And
Vice
they asked us
Chancellor.
to go.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, can I ask
they
you
asked us to
something?
You were asking me.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, Mr. Vice Chancellor, one second. Mr. Vice Chancellor, 1 second. I don't know whether you were under some political pressure. I'll come to that later. Tanvir Ahmed, by the way, what is sedition? Sedition is bringing or attempting to bring into hatred or contempt, excite or attempt to excite disaffection towards the government established by law. The question is, how is this sedition? One minute. Now, Mr. Vice Chancellor, let the National Conference spokesperson come in. Yes,
Prison
Tanvir.
for lifetime. Now, for heaven's sake, you may chair for
Mr. Ahmed, please listen to someone else, please.
There
Yes.
is no way you can put sedition charges against the students. Please understand, Mr. Goswami. First of all, let me congratulate you. I think in the history of time now, this is the first time that you have made a pro-Kashmiri program. But having said that, you know what? What's really important is for the people in UP and the other party people sitting there is that, you know, these students have grown up in bloodshed. They were in the age group of 1 to 10. Now they are in the age group of 20 to 30.
I'm getting out of it.
Now, you know, these people have grown up in that atmosphere. You need to give them some time. You need to give them some time to come out of that. Now, you can't slam sedition charges against them just because they have cheered for a particular team. Now, there is a difference. Okay, they may.
Give me 1 minute.
Mr. Ahmed, 1 second. Mr. Ahmed, 1 minute. Mr. Ahmed, 1 minute. Did anybody disturb you when you were speaking? But Tanvir, 1 minute. I just want a minute. We will not be able to have a debate like this. Mr. Ahmed, a minute, please. Patience, please. Did anyone? 1 second, Mr. Ahmed. Now, please understand this, Mr. Ahmed. Please, this is not your university, please. This is the Newshour. Did anybody disturb you when you were speaking? How come you're disturbing everybody else when they are speaking? Let them have their say. No, there are panelists who have not spoken yet. You are constantly interrupting everyone. I have warned you on 3 occasions, and I warn you now, Mr. Vice Chancellor, if you don't stop, I will have to reduce your volume. Please. Please, 1 minute, Mr. Vice Chancellor.
We did not register.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, a minute. I want to say one thing to these students here. Please understand one thing. To these students who are in Srinagar. Yes. Remember this, sir. Yeah. To the 2 young men there. That, you know, in the aftermath of Muzaffarnagar, already communally charged environment in this place, if you in any way end up supporting the Pakistani team, remember one thing to the 2 young men. Remember, it is not an IPL match. It is an India-Pakistan match. And there is a danger that if you go out celebrating in any way a Pakistani victory, whether or not now to the 2 young men, it will reinforce. You cannot, to please understand this. Do not argue only on the point of view of the strong and narrow of the law. Legally speaking, 1 minute. Legally speaking, please listen to me, young man. Listen to me. Legally speaking, it can be argued. Legally. That it's an overreaction to put sedition charges. Legally speaking. But I'm not arguing legally tonight. I'm saying, is it correct? Right? And you can celebrate for Pakistan, but can a public celebration for Pakistan happen? Can you publicly support Pakistan or celebrate Pakistan in a public environment, not in the privacy of your homes? You can end up hurting the sentiments of other people. You can end up perhaps provoking other people. And Abid Rasool Khan, can that argument be kept aside? Abid Rasool Khan, can that argument be kept aside, Mr. Khan?
I got your question, Mr. Arnab.
Mr. Khan, 1 minute. Abid Rasool Khan is responding, sir, 1 minute. Yeah, Abid.
Yes. Arnab, they are. Please wait for a minute.
Yeah.
We
Just-
just cheer,
No,
we
let
just
me,
cheer for a player.
students, please wait for a minute.
To the two students, just a minute, please. Just a minute. Yeah.
Now, Arnab, there are three issues which are there, which are very relevant in this. One is the match and the celebration after that, or the applause after that, whatever the students may be putting in, the Indian students from Kashmiri origin. And then second, the failure of the university to do fighting at that stage. And thirdly, the sedition clauses which have been slapped. I feel that the students after the episode should have been counseled, should have been given proper counseling by the university, and should have been properly told that they have to conduct themselves in the national interest.
Absolutely.
And the interest of the
I'm so glad you are
Second
saying
issue. Second, the issue of the Vice Chancellor, I pick holes in his whole theory, because he has on your channel now said that this hostel was only for the Kashmiris. If that is the case, if it was for Kashmiris, where is the question of others being there? Secondly, the warden, when he himself was there and when he could not judge the situation and take action, and the Vice Chancellor overreacting,
You know, Abid
and
Rasool
booking
Khan.
cases and sending the
Abid
students
Rasool
away.
Khan.
Yeah.
Abid
yes,
Rasool Khan,
has-
the minute.
has
I want to
shown
ask
that
you
he
one
is
thing. No,
not
one
fit
second.
for the post
One
of the
second.
country.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's not complicate the thing, okay?
Yeah.
I'm asking a
Yeah.
very simple question now.
Yes,
We can
yes.
confound this legally. I can also confound it. If you want me to, I'll
Okay.
confound this illegally. We'll go into legal interpretations
No,
of
you
Section
can ask me a question
124A
now.
of the
No,
Indian Penal
this is
Code.
not the
Who
case.
is liable, who is not
No,
liable,
this
etc.
does not.
That's not the question. The question
I
is
agree
this.
with you, this is not required.
No, the question is very simple. Okay, can you hear me now, Shabnam Lone?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, Shabnam
Yes,
Lone
I
is a
can hear
Supreme
you.
Court advocate. She
I can
comes
hear
from
you,
a very
Arnab.
prominent political family of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, Shabnam Lone, simple question to you, okay? Let's not argue legally for a minute. You tell me, is it appropriate? Is it appropriate in a public situation, right, for Indian citizens, whether from Assam, Madhya Pradesh, Bengal or Jammu and Kashmir, to celebrate after a Pakistani victory in a cricket match, knowing fully well the sentiments involved and the emotions that come into interplay in a match? After all, cricket is, you know, there are lots of passions involved. Do you believe the act of publicly celebrating Pakistani win in any way can amount, Shabnam Lone, to an active act of provocation against other fellow Indian citizens or not? Just tell me whether it is right, whether you can celebrate for the Pakistani flag or a Pakistani victory after an India-Pakistan match, whether it is appropriate to do so. Appropriate to do so.
Well, given the complex history of love and hate between India and Pakistan on many issues, I would request these Kashmiri students that certain things are desirable and certain things are not desirable.
Right.
It was not very desirable on their part to have actually gone in for those celebrations. Having said that, I heard Mr. Madhukar Jaitely, from the Samajwadi Party. Samajwadi Party had an agenda because they are hiding behind the veil of putting these false charges against the students. They have failed on every front. I hope this policeman who slapped these 124 charges, an inquiry is held against him, because a police officer has to go within the contours of law. His action has to be one of reason, justice and fair play. Even if an FIR has been lodged,
And that was...
and if an FIR has... Now please let me say something, sir. Please don't interrupt. Now if an FIR has been lodged on what the learned Vice Chancellor, what he wrote to them, it is abysmal. The Vice Chancellor needs to come straight. Who asked him to write that application? Was someone from the Akhilesh government involved in this? Because I'm sure he comes from a land. He comes from a land where the police is busy looking for the minister's Buffalo Azam Khan. They don't know. They don't know how to respect law. They don't know what the Supreme Court has said. There is a judgment on a Kashmiri, that is Fayaz Ahmed Kallu versus state of Andhra Pradesh.
No.
It was the Honorable Supreme Court which...
You know, you are again going into a technical argument. My question to you was far more straight. My question to you was, is it good to support Pakistan after an India-Pakistan match in a public situation in India, not in the privacy of your homes?
I answered that question, Arnab, but the question is, now these are scared and
the second question
individuals. These children, these boys, they have to study.
The second part.
The second part. No, the Indian democracy is far too strong.
I know the Indian
democracy is far too strong.
Shabnam, our democracy is strong.
Shabnam, our democracy. The rule of law has to be followed.
Shabnam Lone, our democracy is strong. We are a large nation. We are a forgiving and all-encompassing large democracy. That's what makes India great. Okay? But there have to be certain Lakshman Rekhas of public decorum, and I'm glad tonight that you have told the students that don't take it too far. What you have said is that there should be no pro-Pakistan celebrations. 1 minute. Let's not take the argument of democracy too far. If you have pro-Pakistan celebrations after a cricket match, whether it happens in Srinagar, Meerut or anywhere else, you are deliberately provoking sentiment, and it's completely avoidable. I applaud you for the position you've taken. But Madhukar Jaitely has to explain the reaction. Madhukar Jaitely, Shabnam Lone says what you did was deliberate. You deliberately did this U-turn. You put pressure on him first to file the FIR on the police. Then you took back the FIR. In other words, she seems to be arguing that you're deliberately trying to polarize the situation, because you polarize the situation before the election, it works for you. Please understand that, Mr. Jaitly. You have to answer her quite directly tonight.
I dismiss this charge. I completely dismiss.
No, dismissal, that's a very brief...
See, first of all, let me tell you, it was the situation was not instigated by the Samajwadi Party. The UP government had no role in the match. The university vice chancellor himself went ahead and lodged the FIR. Now let me tell you one more thing, Arnab.
I disagree with Mr.
FIR
Jaitly.
has not. Let me complete, madam. When you were talking, I was not speaking. Let me complete. See,
no, Sameer Kaul also wants to come in.
The FIR has not been registered against all the students. The FIR has not been registered against all the 67 students. The FIR has been registered against some of the students. The number is not clear. And the charges of under 124A of sedition have, during the course of investigation, not been found true against all the students. Therefore, they have been dropped. So don't jump the gun. The due process of law is being taken.
Dr. Sameer Kaul. Dr. Sameer Kaul.
They have been dropped because there was a hue and cry. They have been dropped because there was a hue and cry. It was the media which came to the rescue of these students, sir. Otherwise,
I am again trying to clarify. I am again trying to clarify.
No,
there was the Samajwadi Party is not under pressure of anybody.
Now, the failures of the Samajwadi Party, what you did, the failure of the Samajwadi Party, you tried to give it another hue. You were trying to be heroes. While you tried to give it the nature of heroes, that you have got some Kashmiris who were... No.
1 second. Dr. Sameer Kaul has a counter. The Congress spokesperson has a counter.
I have 3 points to make.
1 second. Madhukar Jaitly, remember this. No, Madhukar Jaitly. I just want to say one thing to Madhukar Jaitly. Madhukar Jaitly.
Teachers, professors.
Madhukar Jaitly, you please explain to me, given that it could be argued it's a private institution, it is the prerogative of the university to suspend the students, right? You have filed 124A against the students and then you've taken it back.
What option did the government have when the FIR under that section is being provided to the police?
So you don't know the law, is it? Your government doesn't have to read the law.
Wrong.
Your government...
Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Show me, Mr. Madhukar Jaitly, where is the law of the university which says that if you indulge in sloganeering for a particular team, where is the law which says that you will be booked under 124? Can you show me the law? Can the Vice Chancellor show me the law that if the students indulge in favor of...
So at this stage of the debate...
team, you can book them. There is absolutely no law.
First of all, let me tell you.
Sameer Kaul has a question for you. I'm allowing Sameer Kaul in at this point. Sameer Kaul, 10 minutes on the debate. Sameer Kaul to Madhukar Jaitly. Please go ahead, Mr. Kaul. Mr. Sameer Kaul to Madhukar Jaitly. Madhukar Jaitly, here Sameer Kaul.
Can they just keep quiet for a while?
Go ahead.
Just 1 minute. Just keep quiet, Mr. Jaitly. 3 points, quick points I'll make, Arnab. First of all, I find your argument, invoking the anti-national cause completely trivial in this situation. For God's sake, look at your own television footages and see girls cheering teams across the boundary line with India painted on one side, Pakistan painted on the other side.
There is a difference between cheering cricket. Sameer Kaul, Mr. Kaul, now let me, I just want to respond. Briefly hear me. I will only tell you this. Briefly hear me. There is a strong liberal argument which can be made that we must foster cricketing relations between both sides. We therefore, wear the signs of Pakistan and India on two cheeks. 1 minute, Mr. Dr. Kaul, you made a point, so let me respond. You are for, and we are for India-Pakistan cricketing ties. But there is, no, 1 second. There is a huge difference between supporting India-Pakistan cricket and cheering in a public situation where you already have a charged atmosphere, right? A Pakistani victory in a public and boisterous manner. That's the argument made. So, Sameer Kaul, I just wanted to explain that point to you. Yes, please go ahead now. Go ahead anyway. Let's not move away from the point. Yeah.
Sir, but
what's your point to Mr. Jaitly?
The other point the second point is not to Mr. Jaitly. It's actually to, you might call it competitive politics, but it is not. What happened to these boys after they landed in Delhi? They had to, the boys themselves told you they had to sleep on the footpaths. You know why? Because a supposedly liaison officer of our moribund government, if not
I'm not interested in your local Kashmiri politics.
Respond to phone calls.
I'm not interested in your Kashmir politics.
No, it is true.
No, I'm not interested.
It's a matter of fact that I'm presenting.
Don't bring it down. Don't bring everything down to that.
There to look after these boys.
Don't bring everything down to that
situation.
Okay, now at this point, I'm going to Sudhanshu Trivedi, who's raised his hand for some time. Sudhanshu Trivedi, yes.
Third point. So just a quick point. I request the BJP and other parties to think sane and not to allow one organ of a body to cut the other organ to pieces. We have to live together. We have to live together as a human being. Let us not create more crisis in that mistrust that exists between the peoples of two states or within this country.
Let the BJP... Yes, Mr. Trivedi, go ahead. Mr. Trivedi, straight, it's over to you. Mr. Rasool, after that.
Yes, I agree that these boys should be allowed to grow up, as your panelist has said. But grow up in which situation? There has to be some limit. Even in the student is allowed to learn in the university or school or college, there is certain limit of discipline. And as Mr. Jaitly was saying that the Samajwadi Party government has not instigated anything. Yes, of course, they need not to instigate anything, because as soon as Samajwadi Party government comes in power in Uttar Pradesh and the Congress government comes in power in center, automatically the psychological atmosphere among certain communities and the communal atmosphere becomes such a situation. And all the matters related to national security and national integrity become to such a low level.
How is this matter one of national security?
Occurs automatically.
How is this matter a matter of national security?
If the state of India is facing such a situation that the national song Vande Mataram can be opposed, it's okay. Certain sections in Kerala said that they will not sing the national anthem, Jan Gan Man. Still the state of India says it's okay. When the rare of the rarest crime on the attack on Parliament, and this has been described by the Supreme Court, is still the Jammu Kashmir Chief Minister comes for clemency. Still it is said it is okay.
Two hands go up.
There is the limit.
Shabnam Lone and Mr. Abid Rasool both want to come in.
No, what did the...
Shabnam Lone first.
Arnab, may I make a point?
Briefly.
No, all these Kashmiri politicians here, I saw Mr. Saifuddin Soz on Times Now today. What was he saying? That we should not make a statement. And Mr. Trivedi, kindly BJP, I would request, kindly don't give sermons. And don't give sermons on communalism. I think you have to go a long way off And what all of us need to understand that Hindus,
We are not
Muslims,
giving sermons.
we need to
There are
coexist in
examples
this
when the
lovely
Naxals have
country.
pulled down 100
Yes,
more
you are
than
giving
100
sermons.
CRPF
Don't tell us how to.
Dantewada. There was a celebration in the university in New Delhi.
Some points.
Then still everything remains silent, and the discussions
No,
go on the nuances whether they should be allowed or not.
Stop
I am
being
saying that the
patronizing.
entire state
Stop
of India
being
has gone to such a
patronizing.
low level.
Stop being
that we are
patronizing,
becoming
Mr.
a
Trivedi.
very difficult.
I think
We are
you
leading into a very
need to do a
difficult
lot of
situation.
soul searching
Even the
yourself.
new generations
Don't tell us
will
how
be
we need
thinking
to live
about
here.
what is the
We will
nationalism
live
and what is the
by
national
way we want to
integrity.
live. We
I
will
appeal
live
to
with
all the
dignity.
political
No.
parties.
We will
Come
live
out
with
of their
dignity and
regional
honor.
interest
It's
and the
about our
political
life and
interest.
liberty.
At least
It's
reach some
about
consensus
life
that all
and
the major
liberty.
countries
We
of the
will
world
live
are
with
coming,
dignity
whether
and
it is
honor.
United States,
We will
UK,
not
Britain,
live
Germany,
with the
Australia or
dictates
other
that you
things.
give us.
Unfortunately, it is not happening
The
in India.
debate therefore is
Don't
on,
dictate.
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute. The debate therefore is on. Abid Rasool Khan, we are coming to a critical point of this debate on what is the freedom of speech and what are the limits of the freedom of speech. Now, I just have one point to make to you. A news channel, for example, or a newspaper cannot and should not under any circumstances, even as a mistake, a willful mistake, will be punished if it publishes the wrong map of India, right? Or if it allows open sedition, right, on the channel, which violates the integrity of India. This is a clause, and therefore I assume, Abid Rasool Khan, you agree with me that the freedom of speech is not absolute. This is something that journalists are often told. In this case, does the same rule not apply? Now, one can argue as to whether suspension is enough or the charge of sedition is too much. But does the same argument not apply in this case as well?
Yeah, Arnab, as I told you earlier, I again tell you that hurting the feeling of somebody through celebrations which are for another country by an Indian citizen definitely is not acceptable at any cost. There is no two ways about that. But because speaking last and being very patient, I would like to also pick on 2-3 issues which have been discussed. One is Mr. Jaitly saying that he doesn't know how many people were charged in a sensitive case after about 4 to 5 days after the FIR was lodged.
That's what he says.
Why the FIR was lodged.
You don't believe him?
Clause.
Is he lying?
Yes,
is he lying?
Yeah, that shows how the government works there. That shows how. No, I want to say how the government works there and how responsible they are towards such a sensitive issue. And secondly, my BJP co-panelist
Madhukar Jaitly, 1 second. On this point, I'll come back to you, Madhukar Jaitly.
Let me complete.
You made a point on him.
Let me complete. I did not interfere. Let me complete. Let me complete it. I have heard you. Let me complete. Now, my BJP friend and my co-panel is saying that on the national interest and on the national security, my 2 questions to him is, the Chief Minister of BJP government from Goa going and calling on terrorists who have been convicted, is that not against the national interest? His co-partner in this election, RSS, not unfurling the national flag on Republic Day, is that not against national interest? So here the debate is an excellent debate what you have started, and we all need to stand together and say that in the national interest, we all need to control all these type of elements which can create any problems.
That should be told. That point should go to
that they are Indians. But then
you should
and they need to understand the feelings of the Indians, and they have to control their feelings if they have.
I am sure Dr. Sameer Kaul will agree with you on that you cannot divorce. Sameer Kaul, at the end of the day, you cannot divorce national sentiment. No, 1 second. You cannot divorce national sentiment. एक मिनट
This is not hyper sentiment. This is not a normal national sentiment. This is hyper sentiment, my friend.
Why is it hyper sentiment?
This isn't a normal level of normal sentiment.
This is, you're not playing.
I mean, can you please
this is not a.
Are they being anti-national?
Political gain, trying to isolate a community.
You are digging into personal freedoms. Absolutely wrong. This is absolutely wrong. And I feel
even
that
even in Islam, it says that you have
no, this is not a Hindu-Islam issue. Don't make it a religious issue. It's not a religious issue. Don't try to make it one.
Mr. Arnab,
don't try to make it one.
Mr. Arnab,
it's not, but you have to.
One second. This debate began. 1 second. 1 second.
Celebration नहीं हुई वहाँ.
1 minute.
दूसरी,
you are party politics.
इस hostel में पूरे कश्मीरी नहीं है. There are some other students. यूपी के स्टूडेंट्स है, दिल्ली के स्टूडेंट्स है, और ये मसला इसलिए इतना क्रिटिकल बना क्योंकि अब इलेक्शन आने वाले हैं, and everyone tries to play politics.
No, it's no. to you, can I say one thing?
Where was your liaison officer?
No, to the students, I'd say
Where
one
was your
thing.
liaison officer?
To the students, 1 minute. To the students. I want to say something to the students. I want to say something to the students. Please hear me. Please hear me.
Yes, sir.
We are all Indian citizens. My dear young friends, we are all Indian citizens, right?
Yes, sir,
we are all Indian citizens.
To be Indian.
Now you want to listen to me, please? We are all Indian students. This is not a India-England, India-Bangladesh, India-Mauritius or India-China match. It's a India-Pakistan cricket match. Now, I am sure that you would be proud of being an Indian citizen. And therefore, the only thing I'd say to you, while it can be argued, no, 1 second, young man, just listen to me. While it can be argued that sedition charges against you were inappropriate, I am sure you will also appreciate the sentiments, I am sure you will appreciate the sentiments of all Indians that after India-Pakistan cricket match, you should not do something which upsets the sentiments of everybody else, at least not publicly. And I'm just saying this to you so that I hope you understand where we are coming from on that, right? You can support cricket, we are all cricket lovers.
Sir, I want to tell you one thing. If Afridi is your favorite player, and Afridi has played very well, did you not cheer for the Afridi?
Yeah, but I want
to tell you one thing. My favorite player is Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is from the Indian team. And whenever Virat Kohli make a century or make 50, I just cheer
understood
for
what you
Virat
said.
Kohli.
Young man.
Another best batsman is Sachin Tendulkar. I cheer for Sachin Tendulkar. But same on the other side, Afridi is my favorite player. I cheer for Afridi because he has done a
there's a difference, 1 minute. There is a difference, young man. 1 minute, young man, I'll tell you one thing. It was not, young man, I understand what you're trying to present your case saying I'm backing Afridi, not Pakistan. But I'll tell you this, just go think about it, right? You're not celebrating Afridi's century or Afridi's half century. You are celebrating after Pakistan won an India-Pakistan cricket match, and doing that publicly will cause great discomfort to a lot of people. Now, you can disagree with me, but I'm just making that point to you.
We understand, sir. We understand that.
That's
sir.
all.
We understand that.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
We have told you, sir.
And
we have told you, sir. We didn't celebrate it publicly. We didn't celebrate it publicly. There is only. Tell me first. अगर इंडिया एक democratic country है, एक largest democracy है दुनिया में, तो हमें क्यों हक नहीं है कि किसी टीम को सपोर्ट करें? अगर आप
देखिए एक बात आपको मैं देखिए
ये बात हम मान रहे हैं. अगर
बरखुरदार 1 मिनट, I'll make one point to you. मेरी बात सुनिए. You see, you understand this. You see, you can't do something which provokes other people. Okay, we are a great democracy. We are a great democracy, right? But you can't do something which provokes other people and which can create tension. You must not do that. And after all, please understand, you must be proud. We are all Indians. We are all proud of the Indian cricket team. When India, it's not an IPL match, young man. It's not an IPL match. It's not Lahore Lions versus Delhi Daredevils.
But it is a match. It's not a world war.
Yes, it's not. But you may feel. Now you can feel. Now I'll tell you one thing. Now 1 minute.
अगर इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बोल रही है कि पाकिस्तान के साथ रिलेशंस अच्छे होने चाहिए, अगर पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट ने ये सुना कि पाकिस्तान टीम की सपोर्ट पे ऐसा हुआ, तो क्या वो इस बात से रिलेशंस अच्छे होंगे?
देखिए
जब तक रिलेशंस कैसे अच्छे होंगे?
देखिए I think today just ask one.
तो ये कभी सॉल्व नहीं हो सकता.
Okay, so I've listened to you.
की बात कर रहे हैं आप.
मैंने आपकी बात सुनी. ये बीजेपी के जो है कुछ आपको कहना चाहते हैं. I don't want to provoke this situation anymore. Okay, please understand that, Mr. Trivedi. I have made my point amply clear. और शबनम लोन जो है उन्होंने भी आपको कहा कि भारत में पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम को सपोर्ट करना ये अलाउड नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है, आप कर सकते हैं, अपने ड्राइंग रूम में कीजिए, मगर आप अगर कहें कि हम बाहर पब्लिकली एक मिनट मैं बाहर पब्लिकली सेलिब्रेट करूंगा, तो सुनिए भाई साहब, सुनिए. एक ऐसा है कि हर चीज की एक सीमा, एक हद होती है. आप प्राइवेटली सेलिब्रेट करें, ठीक है, मगर आप कल मोर्चा निकाले पाकिस्तान के विक्ट्री को लेकर, तो फिर आप एक मिनट, आप कई लोगों को परेशान करेंगे, कई लोग पूछेंगे ये आपका देश है, ये आपका देश है। जब भारत क्रिकेट मैच में जीतता है, जब भारत क्रिकेट मैच में जीतता है, 1 minute, now you know, I won't get into this argument with you. There are two other people who are saying something. I'll listen to them before I wrap this up. I'm completely surprised. You know, you're an Indian and you obviously expected to support the Indian cricket team. Now, if you make a theoretical argument that I can support China, if you have an India-China match, or an India-Bangladesh match, I'll start supporting Bangladesh. Well, theoretically you can. Theoretically you can. But it's a little difficult to understand why. That's all. And certainly to do it publicly is an absolute act of provocation. That's all. Now, Mr. Trivedi wants to say something. Now, Mr. Trivedi is speaking. Yes, Mr. Trivedi. Quickly. Mr. Trivedi and Ms. Lone, and then I'm wrapping this up.
Yes. This theoretical logic could have some sort of locus standi, even though it is ridiculous and dangerous, if anybody who is speaking this would have uttered a single word when a head of our soldiers been cut down and taken down by the Pakistan army. If you have not spoken a single word on that occasion and not expressed your anguish,
Shabnam Lone, last word to Shabnam Lone. This is not war.
In my
this
opinion,
is not war.
This is a question mark.
Sudhanshu Trivedi, if you notice this, and let me tell you this, no channel, but this channel, when the incident happened there of the Indian soldiers being beheaded, you know how we raised the point about it. We asked the questions to Pakistan. We put more pressure on their public opinion that perhaps our government with its candy floss diplomacy did. But I say this to you.
I'm not putting any allegation on the channel. I am asking to those who are defending this.
But Sudhanshu Trivedi, I'm saying this to you. You draw the line and let us say or do nothing today which deepens any divide between any people. We are trying to bring people together, not divide them. Shabnam Lone is the last word. Yes, Shabnam Lone. And that's the last word to this debate.
Mr. Trivedi of the BJP, I have a simple question for you. Do you think the Uttar Pradesh government overreacted by slapping 124A sedition charge against these Kashmiri students? Simple question. Please answer in yes or no.
I have already given an answer that as soon as Samajwadi Party government comes in Uttar Pradesh, everything comes to the boiling point.
Okay, gentlemen.
From Muzaffarnagar riots to riots in Arnab, and other things. So the situation becomes in a turbulent mode.
Now, as I wrap this up, now whether people like it or not, supporting a Pakistani team after an India-Pakistan cricket match, while being allowed under the broad contours of the Indian Constitution and may not amount to an act of sedition, is totally and completely unacceptable, especially if it is done publicly. Now, the PDP representative can say it's not, but then that's your opinion and you have your right to have it. Sameer Kaul will debate. Yes, it's not war, but within sport as well, Sameer Kaul, do not tell me that within sport, cricket, India-Pakistan match, there is no element of nationalism. And if there is an element of nationalism, we know which nation we belong to there. Thank you very much. We know which nation we belong to. There should be no doubt on that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for debate number 1. Thank you very much indeed.